Welcome again to our next class on investment appraisal. Quick one, just as we mentioned in our last series about investment appraisal, we say investment appraisal is the evaluation of proposed investment projects involving capital expenditure, and we made mention of capital expenditure and operating expenditure as well as the distinguishing features among these two forms of expenditure. This class we are going to be looking at the methods in full. The DCF method and the non-DCF method. DCF in financial management simply refers to as discounted cash flow method. Discounted cash flow method. As the word implies, a cash flow that has been discounted. It could actually have been discounted using a particular interest rate, probably maybe a nominal interest rate or whatever interest rate we are given. While there's another method that actually appraises investment without making use of interest rate or any form of discounting or compounding. This is what we refer to as non-DCF method. For the purpose of this class, I'd like to continue and initiate the class with the non-DCF method. Actually, under the non-DCF method of investment appraisal, there are mainly two methods that are broadly known and popularly recognized. And these are the accounting rate of return and the payback period. The accounting rate of return and the payback period method, which we call the PBP. While we are talking about the discounted cash flow method, then we broadly be speaking about two methods actually. Actually, there are different other methods and different subcategories under this classification. But for the purpose of this class and this level, we will be looking at just two discounting cash flow method or DCF method. And these are the net present value method, NPV, and the internal rate of return, the IRR. Actually, in advanced levels, we have the MIRR, which we refer to as modified internal rate of return. And also, there are different other methods that actually involve the DCF method, which the another method is the discounted PBP method, the discounted payback period method. But for the purpose of this class, we didn't only be focusing on the non-DCF method, ARR, accounting rate of return, and PBP, the payback period. And also be looking at the classification on discounted cash flow method, DCF method, under which we have the net present value, NPV, and the internal rate of return, IRR. Now, we are going to be looking into the non-DCF method in full. So, the first subcategory we will be looking at under the non-DCF method is the accounting rate of return, ARR. Just as the word implied, accounting rate of return. I thought the only bone of contentment could only have been the prefix accounting. But every one of us knows the meaning of rate of return. Very simple. It means as I'm actually investing a so-so or X number of money, what is the rate? Are you getting it? What is the percentage? Oh, are you getting it? Or what is the yield? To what level of yield am I expecting on every 1 naira or 1 kobo invested, if it's a Nigerian denomination? So, rate of return simply refers to the percentage of return that is derivable on every investment made. So that's why I said there's nothing complex about that. It's explanatory enough, and it could actually be gotten analogously. But the word accounting rate of return then gives or poses a challenge. Now, talking about accounting rate of return, what could it have meant? For the purpose of this class, an accounting rate of return is simply an accounting profit. Are you getting it? You need to get something. There's difference between accounting profit and economic profit. In economics, we say that total revenue is equal to price times quantity. Are you getting it? But economics also postulates that profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost, where total cost comprises of fixed and variable cost. So, when we remove total cost from total revenue, what remains is the profit. But this is not the same in accounting. So, to actually get an accounting profit, we need to adjust the economic profit. I hope you are getting that. We need to adjust for some factors, for some variables, for some parameters that have not been captured in the economic profit, such as depreciation. So, after adjusting the profits with those factors like depreciation, whatever we get is what we refer to as the accounting profit. So, anytime we get this accounting profit and we divisionalize it over the investment made, whatever we get is what we refer to as the accounting rate of return. And don't forget, this is always in percentage, the word rate. Do you understand that? So it's not in absolute values unlike others. Rather, it is a percentage measure. Quickly, before rounding up this class, we'll be looking at what are the merits of the application of ARR as a non-Dcf method. Number one, ARR is easy to calculate. Are you getting it? To get ARR, the formula says average annual accounting profit over average investment. In our subsequent series, we will be looking at workings, full workings on this. But for the purpose of this class, we are going to only be looking at an overview and the theoretical part of this topic. So, the formula stipulates that ARR is the average annual accounting profit divided by the average investment. The average annual accounting profit divided by the average investment. Now, when a question or an illustration actually gives you ranges of profit from year 1 to year 5, let's assume. Now, after adjusting for depreciation in each of the year, you summate all the year and then divide by 5. That is the average annual accounting profit. So whatever you get, then you divide it by the average investment. How do you get the average investment? That is the initial investment made. Probably you actually incurred 50,000 naira, the initial investment made minus the scrap value if there is. So you deduct, plus the scrap value, whatever it gives, divide it by 2, then that is the average investment. So whatever you get as your average annual accounting profit divided by the average investment, whatever it gives you in percentage, so you have to multiply by 100, is what we refer to as the accounting rate of return. Very simple. Or the formula stipulates again that in a situation where there is no, the question only gives the initial investment or the initial capital made. And the question is silent about any other further investment or scrap value. Then the formula changes to average annual accounting profit divided by the initial investment. Simple. Very simple. I mean, by the time we get to other methods, we will know that this method is simply very simple. So, this gives us the backing to say, one of the merits of the accounting rate of return is that it is easy to calculate. Another important merit of ARR compared to other methods is that it is fairly easy to understand as it uses concepts that are familiar to business managers. So, actually in a firm, even including non-financial management, be it director or NEDs, I mean non-executive directors or whatever portfolio they might be holding, in as much they are acquainted to business or they could be referred to as business managers, definitely it's a concept that actually adopts something that is familiar with them all. So ARR is a concept, adopts or uses concepts that are familiar to business managers. So, in case we come across this in our examinations or assessments, be it ACCA or probably ICAN or probably ATS levels, that stipulates us to mention the advantages of ARR. These are part of the germane advantages. Then, there is nothing that have a disadvantage, an advantage that doesn't have a disadvantage. Then, for the purpose of this class, what are the limitations of ARR, accounting rate of return? What are the disadvantages? What are the limitations of ARR when compared with other forms of investment appraisal techniques? Number one, ARR ignores time value of money. So, you need to get it right. ARR assumes that the value of money in 2050, year 2050, is the same thing as the value of money in year 2020. Can you see? This is a major impediment. This is a major deficiency. This is a major shortfall of ARR. It ignores that the value of money changes over time. So, it does not capture specific parameters like inflation. It does not capture parameters like using interest rates. So, it does not capture these parameters because it assumes that over the project lifespan, the value of money is expected to be the same. That is, the purchasing power is not expected to change, which is not true in reality. So, we refer to this as one of the limitations of ARR. Actually, I'm talking about non-Dcf method. This is a limitation that is common to them all, not only ARR. We are going to be finding out this and be unraveling this in subsequent series. So, ignoring time value of money is something that is peculiar or is a deficient feature of non-Dcf methods generally. Another basic deficiency that ARR captures or integrates is that it is based on accounting profit and not cash flows. ARR is predicated on accounting profit. ARR is engineered on accounting profit. ARR is domiciled, is domineering on accounting profit as against cash flows. Potentially in subsequent series, we are looking at a topic on relevant costing. We did be knowing the difference between nominal cash flows and cash flows. So, ARR only deals with and assumes that inflows or outflows to be used should all be accounting profit and not cash flow. Actually, this is against the realistic investment technique. So, I want to believe you enjoyed today's class, everyone. Don't forget, subscribe, like, and share, the video. Share with your colleagues, share with other professionals that you know are in need of these resources. So I'll be joining you to join the subsequent video where we will be looking at in that class the other method of non-DCF, which is the payback period. Thank you and God bless you.